Well, Justin Baldoni's legal team has made bold allegations this morning accusing Blake Lively of extorting Taylor Swift.
Yeah, let's get some more. Here's our entertainment editor, Peter Ford. Hi, Pete. This is about leaking private text messages, right?
Yeah, it's the twist we didn't see coming, because some people are interpreting this as being that Taylor Swift is now assisting Justin Baldoni's case. So what Brian Friedman, who is the attorney for Baldoni, has claimed is that he has information, he says, from a totally trustworthy source directly involved, and that is that Blake is demanding that Taylor go out and delete all of her text messages. And further to that, she should in fact put out a statement supporting her, Blake Lively, and a public statement to put out there. And then unless that happens, then surprise, surprise, some private text messages of Taylor's might get leaked out. So that's clearly a threat. If it's true, this is a claim. Don't forget, this is a claim from Brian Friedman. And in fact, in the last 20 minutes, Blake Lively has put out a statement to completely deny all of those claims and says she's going to deal with them. I assume that means like a defamation case down the track. So there's a lot unfolding in this story. You know, every day there's a new drop. So look, I don't know. It would be surprising to me if Taylor Swift was suddenly out there assisting Justin Baldoni, because she's been totally silent. But what this might do is not because of any threat from Blake Lively or supposed threat from Blake Lively, but it might kind of force Taylor to make a statement of some kind about her role, if any, in this whole debacle.
Unless a court's ordering, you know, the release of...
Yes, exactly, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and that's why they shouldn't be deleted in case the court does make that order.
Okay, it just gets messy. Just when you think it's messy enough, it gets messier and messier. As we move on to another court case, Cassie Ventura, that's Sean Diddy Combs' ex-partner, she's returned to the witness box, the stand in the rapper's sex trafficking trial.
Yeah, another day of very, confronting testimony if you actually take the time and trouble to read it all in detail. Not everybody will want to do that, I can promise you, because it is pretty confronting. But I guess one of the interesting parts today was the fact that a 15-minute extended version, if you like, of that infamous hotel corridor video was shown to the jurors. And this includes a lot of stuff that we had not seen privately. Now, she has also claimed that happened because she was trying to escape one of these freak-off parties and Diddy wouldn't let her do that. So I'll show you something else that I think is quite interesting too. There is a network called Law and Crime Network, and they work online, and they are using AI to recreate what's happening in the courtroom. So what they can do, they get the court transcripts, anybody's entitled to do that, and then they utilise their AI abilities to actually, you might as well have a camera in the courtroom. Those very sort of twee sketches that we're still doing these days maybe will become quite outdated. So I'll just show you this example of what they're doing based on court transcripts.
And we're joined today by Mr. Combs. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Combs.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Have you heard the questions I asked the government attorney and your counsel and their answers?
Yes, I have, Your Honor.
So, just to be clear, that is AI. That's AI generated. So the Law and Crime Network, if you want to follow that a little more closely.
So AI generated, but actually word for word what's happening inside.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But then the worrying thing is you can't get the nuance of the tone in which something is said.
Correct.
So that can be very misleading while it is word perfect.
Which does, make you think, well, we might as well just have cameras in there and actually capture it correctly.
Incredible technology, nonetheless.
I hadn't thought about using it in that sort of space, but it goes to show.
Well, I'm thinking now we don't have to come in.
Let's move.
Am I right?
No, that won't have a. There's no
just
context.
Floating that around.
Moving on, Pete, an audit has revealed that Justin Bieber allegedly owes money. This is to his former manager, Scooter Braun, who's quite famous in his own right. Yeah,
we've got a lot of allegedlys at the moment with our stories. So the claim here is that Scooter Braun is owed about $9 million, just short of $9 million US dollars. And this is a result of a loan made because of the cancelled tour in 2022. Now, PricewaterhouseCoopers, obviously highly respected, did a 6-month investigation investigation into the books. And that's what they've come up with, that they say Scooter is owed that amount of just under $9 million. However, there's always a twist, isn't there? Justin Bieber's people have gone back and they have gone through their books and they're now claiming that Scooter Braun has been overpaid by $26 million US for commissions. So, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there at the moment thinking, how am I going to pay next week's electricity bill? And you hear these crazy amounts of money and the fighting that's going on over these insane amounts of money. So that one obviously still to play out.
Yeah, OK, Pete. Now, Elizabeth Hurley allegedly has opened up about her relationship with Billy Ray Cyrus, allegedly.
Yeah, and she's super happy, allegedly, because we know they're together. They put it out there. It was one of those surprise couplings that we didn't sort of see coming. So Elizabeth has been at the big Breast Cancer Research Fund event, which they have a big pink party in New York every year. And she's been doing this for 30 years. She's like the centrepiece of the whole thing. But of course, on the red carpet, people wanted to ask her about the relationship with Billy Ray, and this is what she's saying.
We did get on very well when we first met, and it's wonderful now that, you know, we've decided to be together. And we get on very well. He's a very funny man. He makes me laugh a lot, and he's very kind, very nice.
And she announced that Billy Ray is heading to England to spend time with her very soon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you put the two of them together? I just can't see the two of them
You
together.
know what? You know, in real world I wouldn't, but for the purpose of the morning show, it's fabulous. Like it's just made for morning TV.
It's made for morning television.
One of the best things that's happened to us in the last 18 minutes.
Sure.
Thanks, Pete.
Thank you.